begins one of her world tours, a massive music icon dies.
Things like these should not be conspiracy theories. Things like this should open up our eyes to what truly these secular artists are doing behind the scenes. How is it that whenever she wants to go on a tour, a world tour, whether her or her husband, somebody famous has to die? And in this case, she's going on her Renaissance world tour and Tina Turner died. And I didn't know much about Tina Turner, but apparently she's a most famous rock star, artist, etc., etc. What's crazy is that Beyonce had the time to do a memorial for her, as in like acknowledge what she has done throughout the years in the rock star industry. How is it that she has the time to pay tribute to her music? How did she know that she was going to die? There are so many questions that we should be asking ourselves, questions that should be asked, period. We all know that Beyonce is not with the Lord. Beyonce has proven herself that she is not of God. She is not with God. She has chosen the dark side. And so as Christians, why do we think that it's acceptable to listen to people who have publicly acknowledged that they are from the dark side? And it's even worse when you are a Christian going to people's concerts who are secular, not knowing that you are literally being imparted of spirits, demonic spirits. How is it that people go to concerts and they end up dying from those concerts because of suffocation? People go back home and they're having nightmares. People go back home and they don't understand what happened. I saw recently that these friends, like a group of friends, they went to some person's concert. I don't remember which artist. They came back home and they have no idea that they even went to the concert. They had like complete amnesia from it. How are things like these happening in big, large groups of concerts? You want to know why? Because before the enemy was a fallen angel, he was a worshiper of God. He was a music is what he was built out of. And so what he used, since we all know that our gifts are without repentance, God can give you a gift, and whether you use them or not, it is yours, right? He doesn't take them back. Same thing with the enemy. He decided to take those gifts that God has given them, and as soon as he was a fallen angel, he used it for bad. So now he influences demonic artists to lure people into his kingdom through music. That is why what you listen to is so important. Because we can receive demonic impartation through music. Just the way, you can be filled with the Holy Ghost through music, you can also receive demonic spirits from music. Stop listening to Beyonce. She's not worth it.
Remember what I told you. Sahara in the sky. I'm going to die now. Oh, yes, he is.
Come now, Father. Everything is going to...
Oh, please, don't leave us. Take us instead. Take us on that midnight train. From some moon on the midnight train. From some moon. 'Cause this nation's only hope. It's ruler of this land. Is a son who can't have a son of his own. What's even the point? There's not even a point. Magic.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that bitch bitch?
I think
she went and killed the girl cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. You know, snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too.
Lord, 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 nothing I did, nothing I tried, nothing I smoked, nothing I snorted, nothing I drank, no man I did, no one did me, nothing did me any good. Oh Lord, even that the food I put in my mouth wouldn't help me, Lord.
Everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
Time to tap in now.
Woo!
You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
My mind right, money right, yeah. Ready for war, nigga, we ready for y'all.
You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
Let me see those hands in the air.
You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
I project myself outside of myself and I talk to myself when I'm speaking.
Peace to the tribe, man. Peace to the collective. Just want to give my ashes and positive energy to the Maurice family in their time of trials and tribulations. Seeing my boy Racine, y'all know him as Dark Sacred Serpent, some positive energy. Man, much love from me and my family to yours, bro. But yeah, man, send this man some positive energy. Ladies, send my guy some nudes. Yes, man, just want to say that before I say anything. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna say what's going on because that's his business. But with all that being said, send that man some positive energy as we are, in this quarter moon energy, square energy, all over the place, all different type of shit is going on. I figured let's have a fun stream. Let's get into the shits. It's been a while since I got into the shits. And yeah, man. I sent out about 90% of the Blue Magic books. I got some more books coming in. They didn't send me all the books. They be tweaking with that. But once I get the rest of the books, I'm going to send the rest of the Blue Magic books out. But for a majority of people that just ordered the book, they didn't order anything else. Like I didn't have to bundle out no orders. I sent them out. We was at the post office, well into close, packaging up. But everybody was cool about it. And yeah, man, sent those out. I'm very proud of that book, more or less. I'm gonna start doing more content on Blue Magic to just get people more in tune to it. On Amazon, it's an audio book to it too. So check that out. Check that out. Check that out. That's Blue Magic by Kyrie Anthony. Google it. Uh, I'm saying it's a fire book, man. And I'm telling you, the things that I've implemented in my real life have panned out so crazy. And yeah, just wanted to put that out there for those who've been patiently waiting for the book. I was starting to get the emails this week. Yo, I ordered the book. When is it coming? Type shit. If you send me an email 10 times out of 10, I sent out y'all books. But I got other orders that I need to get to. Just waiting on more supplies. But yeah, this ain't Amazon, and we working towards making sure we give high quality. And so with that, I appreciate everybody's patience and everybody's support because y'all don't have to do that, but y'all do it anyways. And it means a lot. It goes a long way. And I can't stress gratitude enough. Because man, the way that I feel about people, uh, it does translate and people do pick up on it. And, supporting me is also supporting yourself because my heart is centered in assisting people. You know what I'm saying? Some people be focused on themselves, how they can better themselves. You know what I'm saying? I think about how I can better you, how I can improve you. So the stories that I receive from people who have improved in reference to their mental health, in reference to their spiritual development, getting closer with their soul, being guided and led by their soul, having major breakthroughs. That's what I'm all for. The ability to channel, the ability, I hear stories all the time of people who had dreams and a deceased relative, contacted them, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You know, I'm happy that I'm able to do that and be that type of person in people's lives and be the type of person that helps a lot of people. But motherfuckers wouldn't even say, yeah, that nigga over there helped me. Like, just helping people for the sake of helping people. And at the end of the day, spirit always has my back. And that's just my overall message, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm talking about. I hope that y'all realize that your soul have y'all back. If y'all can hear me okay and y'all can understand, overstand, and understand that your soul has y'all back more than anything, can we get some ones in the chat? Like the video. Shout out to my boy Sacred. Much love, peace, and ease of your heart and your travels, my brother. Ones in the chat if your soul have you more than anything. Ones in the chat because our physical vessel is not forever, but our soul and our energy is forever and it never dies. And I want everybody, right? I want to have a channel. I want to have a safe space. I want to have a Discord. I want to have a community where we all bear witness to our soul. Not in a hokey pokey, do the hocus pocus and turn yourself about type of way, but we all have the self revelation. We all have the inspiration and intuition and the enthusiasm, right? That we are so tuned in and tapped into our souls that nobody is trying to scam nobody. Nobody is trying to, stick their fingers in some vagina and see what it smell like. Nope, we just trying to cultivate and open ourselves up to spiritual things, spiritual development, spiritual knowledge, spiritual pursuits with the overall ease and function of life. Why? Because our soul is always guiding us. And this is my message. So, in reference to the conversation that I want to have with y'all today, is simply on a channel that I received from Aleister Crowley. It happened like last night. My boys in the Discord, I just spammed them real quick with some hot mumbo jumbo. They was like, where the fuck this coming from? And so I just had to share, join the Discord. Link is in the description, but I just be having to share. I have random outbursts of like creative inspiration. My boy from Detroit, he used to always send me just shit. He used to send me shit like reels and stuff like that. And he'd be like, man, when I see stuff, I just be knowing who to send it to. My boy Dion. He's like, man, I just be knowing who to send shit to. And that's how I am. So join the Discord. You're going to get random nuggets, put a PDF file about doing plant alchemy in reference to the conversation that we just had, right? Spirit dropped that little nugget, free PDF, and learning how to alchemize your plants. Because really, Spirit had told me like the real way to do alchemy in a real way is to utilize plants, dry herbs, things of that nature, and really drinking a tea, really working with the herbs, right? Really ingesting it is knowledge, is planetary knowledge, spiritual knowledge, ancient knowledge in the dry herbals. One's in the chat if that makes sense, right? So drink your teas, things of that nature. Don't fuck around with the fuck around. It's only so much that human beings can tell you to then you start to expand through the power of herbs. So this is what we call the shits, which is basically a sacred, hourly, intuitive bullshit. I just try to make some shit up, man. Trying to make some shit up. Nah, but this is a real channel from Aleister Crowley, right? Aleister Crowley have been giving me knowledge in reference to spiritual things, spiritual practices, spiritual ritual, and like very smart nigga, man, very smart nigga. And he's basically just telling me how this shit is working and how he set the play in a long time ago. And the rituals and the magic that he did is nothing that niggas can do to escape it. He told me one spirit can control up to 1 million people. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck you talking about? He's like, what you call a corporation? A corporation is just one spirit that have a whole bunch of humans as automatons, as robots, right? When a person work for a company, they basically selling their soul, right? They selling their soul to the overall spirit. So you might need a job, right? But at the end of the day, you needing a job is just going to put you in a space where if you ever had to sign papers, that signature is your soul. Period, point blank, no way around it. So if you operating in life and you making money without signatures, like you didn't sign yourself over to nothing, you like can function in the world, make money, like out of business or something like that, and you ain't sign those signatures, people just want your products, people just want your services, you good. But if you felt like, damn, I got to sign on this dotted line, that meant something, right? That meant something. And people break contracts all the time, which is cool. But the reality is this: if y'all don't understand the power of the soul, it's somebody at your job right now that's harvesting your shit because you just feel like you need to work at this job. And it's cool, man. Pay your bills, do it, do whatever you need to do. But we about to talk about ritual magic and how it plays. Like everybody can go to a job, then come home, watch a movie. That's ritual magic. Go to church. That's ritual magic. Go to a concert. That's ritual magic. The ways for which the job was created, most jobs created and ordained by masons, the people that build the building. They also house the spirits within the different types of buildings. A lot of churches in this world, they house different lower demonic entities, That's why it's so many churches. If it's one God, it would only be one church. In the one church, all human beings will bear witness to because it's God. That's how you know church is never real. Church ain't a real thing because it's many different denominations and religions all purportedly saying that they know who God is. God is a ritual magic flip on people. They go to the church. The church is a ritual, put you under witchcraft, to whereas now, as long as you giving 10%, now it used to be back in the day, niggas had a choice. Nowadays, when you go to church, they trying to figure out, they damn near want your last paycheck stub or your W-2s to figure out how much money you make in reference to your tithes. And most people willingly give that tithe over because the demonic entity now has them under control. Right? Them offering slips, you sign your name on a dotted line, good as sold. So the conversation starts off between me and I'm gonna just tell y'all basically how I'm gonna just give it to y'all in story form and just break down the different stories and then connect it all back to Aleister Crowley because it does all connect back to Aleister Crowley. And it all start Loki season 1, Loki season 2. We look at life like a movie is not real, but that movie comes from people's brains or people's minds or people's visions, people understanding, and it's all connected, right? My name Kyrie Anthony. I'm doing a video about this, but I also got friends that like actually get commissioned by Marvel in real life in reference to the things that I'm talking about. Like I got friends, people that I gave readings to that like work for the NFL. They parents was like mega stars. They went to the NFL. Like I got a lot of friends that done a lot of amazing things. From a psychic level, I've seen people go from nothing to something. I've seen it with my own eyes. So when I look at real life and then I look at these movies, for me, it don't look so futuristic and far off. In the shortest amount of time, Loki is basically a trickster god or Mercury or somebody who is in both dimensions. And in the show, they're like basically they're going from timeline to timeline in the show, right? So what you first have to do is say you can only go from timeline to timeline in a TV show. In reality, there is only one timeline that we follow. And the normal way of looking at this stuff is that there's only one timeline and that there isn't multiple timelines. Once again, you would have to begin to expand your consciousness, open up your mind to start realizing that there are different timelines. Okay. And in each and every timeline, you have an option to access that timeline. The way that you operate through opening timelines is through opening portals. You open portals by unlocking each direction, the north, south, east, west. I've been doing this for years. It might seem rudimentary, it might seem elementary, but you don't advance the way that you open a door, right? The same way you open a door, you pull it open or you push it open. You don't say, damn, I need a different technological way to open this door because The old way of opening a door where you just pulled it open and turned the doorknob is too elementary, is too rudimentary, right? You open a door the same way. So doing a ritual and walking into a different portal, into a different timeline is very simple shit to do, right? It's so simple that you might not even think that it's so simple, right? You need a wand, right? You need a magic wand. One's in the chat if you ever heard of a magic wand before. And if we talk about a magic wand, is a magic wand fake, right? Is it not real? Is it a concept that's just like, these spiritual niggas, man, they just be just making up shit. They just be making up shit. There's no such thing as a magic wand. Okay, there's no such thing as a magic wand. In the normal reality, you're absolutely right. There's no such thing as a magical wand. But if you ever heard of the concept of a magical wand, where the fuck did it just appear out of thin air? Like, can we just made some shit up that exists in the collective consciousness? So a person will say, damn, I'm working at this fucking 9 to 5. I'm a real ass person. I'm in deep reality. I don't need no fucking magic wand. Cool. So you're not going to grab a branch. You're not going to encode it with runes, with Hebrew letters. You're not going to encode it with magic, glue crystals to it. So it could be charged with actual energy, quartz crystals. You're not going to do that because it's not real. Fine. Okay. We've handled them. Now all the spiritual people, magic wands are so real. You got to have a magic wand. I swear to God, if you want to do magic, if you want to do a ritual, do it with the wand. The basic ways of getting a wand is getting a branch, a tree branch. But the more advanced is to encode it with runes, with alchemical symbols, like engrave it with a razor, like really get into the wand. Put energy and effort into the wand. Because what that wand is going to do is going to engrave in the ethers a pentagram. So to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west, I think more or less, you want to start with the east. Like if it's hard for you, your iPhone has a compass. One's in the chat. All you got to do is search for a compass. Figure out what direction is the east. Put a marker on the ground. Figure out what direction is the south. Put a marker, so forth and so on. Each room in my house, we have north, south, east. You want to know which way the direction is, right? So you start in the east. And this is all magical shit. This is all imagination, invisible shit. One's in the chat. We not in reality no more. If you in reality and you got to go to work, please click off this video. This video is for crazy ass motherfuckers that's gonna fucking engrave grown ass people, mind you, with kids, with responsibilities on their free time is going to engrave some runes and alchemical symbols into a wand, right? If there's some shit that you can't get with and it's too rudimentary, basic, out of this world, leave this conversation. So once again, east, west, south, north, know the direction, engrave a pentagram with the wand, right? In each direction, north, south, east, west. This is a basic banishing ritual. This is basic occult studies. If you're not doing this, you probably getting your ass kicked because whatever timeline you on is a timeline where you getting your ass kicked. I mean, just think about it, right? I'm gonna give you a basic example. Your kids is getting on your nerves, right? Bothering you, getting on your nerves. Like naturally normal shit. Your kids getting on your nerves because in that timeline, your kids is getting on your nerves, right? You can enter into a timeline where your mama come and pick them up, or somebody do something. Your auntie just called. She want to take you to Six Flags for the weekend, free of charge. Get dressed, kids. I'm telling you. One's in the chat. If you ever took a nap and woke up to something weird, Like just the news was weird, your phone ringing, a celebrity died, like, just you wake up to some shit in a nap, and it just seemed like you just woke up into a nap, and they like, Michael Jackson died. You like, what the fuck? Nipsey Hussle died. What the fuck? I was just taking a nap. All of that shit is timelines. It's timelines. You ever imagine yourself to like experience something gruesome, like you just like had a bad dream? That shit really happened in a timeline. In a timeline, they saying R.I.P. Charmaine Jackson, gone too soon. In another timeline, you rich as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, in all of these different timelines, in these timelines, you have a husband. In another timeline, you a single mom, struggling. You in that timeline. And then it's like, well, I can't get out of this hood. Did you do a ritual? Did you open up a portal and walk through that portal? That's too simple. It don't work like that. Fine. It don't work like that. Cool. It don't work like that. Forget I even said anything. So boom. And a lot of this shit that I'm saying is not Kyrie talking. Okay. Kyrie been left this whole conversation, right? So, like I said, I was trying to figure out who remains was. I was thinking it was Pascal Beverly Randolph. I was thinking, but the reality is the whole Marvel is based upon Kang the Conqueror, right? They kind of like based the whole shit on Kang the Conqueror being basic, like the creator of the reality, because in each of every timeline there was a Kang the Conqueror, right? Because Kang the Conqueror is like the author or the smartest person in the Marvel universe, like the smartest guy. And so in this reality, the smartest guy, the one who won the war, the one who did the rituals, stood in the desert until death just to contact AWAS, like did shit that none of these white boys was ever gonna ever do, was Aleister Crowley. He had enough money, he had enough spiritual knowledge, and he could go in different timelines and change history. So it's like in this world, we're trying to figure this shit out. And in this world, it's only one way to figure it out. You have to do ritual. You have to, it's not even a point of should I or should not. If you're not doing ritual, then you under somebody else's ritual. That's just how it works. And it's so funny. The funny part about this shit is that the secular artist is like, I don't want to go to church and be put under ritual. And the religious person is saying, I don't want to be secularized and be put under ritual. And it's like both of those places is putting your ass under ritual. Like you are not escaping ritual. Like you are not escaping that shit. So you have to be the creator. Right? So in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the main Earth is Earth 616. But 616 is a play on 666. Right? The numbers 616 and 666 have different meanings, but both are associated with the book of Revelation and the Antichrist. The Antichrist is the beast. This is the time of Revelation, and the Antichrist, like, put any type of name on it. Put any type of person under it, and those are going to be soldiers of Aleister Crowley and the secret societies that run the government, that run everything, because they're like monsters. Like if you watch like nature videos, when you watch nature videos, like if you observe nature, it's very much of like dog eat dog. Like it's like only the strong survive. But it's only one form of strength. It's spiritual strength. It's spiritual understanding and being able to understand the differentiation between spirits, right? Papa Legba, Baron Samdi, these entities, they specifically go after women and marry women at a spiritual level. And these demonic entities kill women at a spiritual level through sexual promiscuity. But in this society, when you don't see the demon, it's like, oh, I'm just having sex because it feel good. But it's like, well, you know what I'm saying? That man is probably gonna be possessed by a demon. And what we begin to understand and understand about sex is microchimerism. Microchimerism is the presence of small number of cells or DNA in a person that come from a genetically different individual. It can occur naturally during pregnancy or through medical procedures like blood transfusions or organ transplants. It can occur naturally during pregnancy. This is when this is how men live inside of women. I'm not making this up. No, I wouldn't necessarily work with Papa Legba in a way that most people would work with Papa Legba. You know, I'm more of a rational spiritualist. I will deal with, like, I will read stuff about people and like if I met Papa Legba and I had to download and had the conversation with Papa Legba, I would say that, but that haven't never happened to me. Like I have more relationships with spirits that's like very much in the tangible universe, more or less. Like I'm more of a seeker. Like I'll roam around the city and be guided and led into places that, you know what I'm saying, like pure intuition. So it'd be entities and energies such as John Dodge that will lead me down whole rabbit holes in reference to energy, no pun intended, that will bring me into the consciousness of Nana Bozo, right? The consciousness of Pambajira, right? These are entities and energies that I've figured out on an intuitive path. You know, the mainstream nature of Papa Legba, you know, in reference to, you know, working with entities and energies such as Obatala, you know, these types of entities are very they don't give a fuck. They'll fuck with anybody type of shit. They don't have no sense of like spiritual ethics. They kind of have a broad stroke. And so because of that, you know, I tend to like I like being more of a leftist when it comes to my spiritual pursuits. I like being a little oddball. I like to uncover things. I don't like to deal with the surface entities and energies. Bobby Hemmett explained it like, you know, a lot of people is sucking on the teat of that entity and energy. So the more people that worship Oshun, the more people that worship Papa Legba, you know, there's like oversaturated, you know, it ain't got enough room for me. But yeah, moving forward. So, who is Aleister Crowley? Aleister Crowley is an English occultist, a ceremonial magician, a poet, philosopher, political theorist, novelist, mountaineer, and painter. He founded the religion of Thelema, identifying himself as the prophet entrusted with guiding humanity into the Aeon of Horus in the early 20th century. A prolific writer, he published widely over the course of his life. So when I say these words and you hear these words, you might just let it go in one ear out the other. But if your wiki page, your biography is that you're an occultist and a ceremonial magician, let me just say that you did something right. You was good at that shit. And you probably made some connections if the first thing people say about you is that you're a ceremonial magician. Now, ceremonial magicianship is very easy and very simple, but you just got to do it. Most people don't do it because they don't believe in it and they don't understand it. However, Aleister Crowley was a ceremonial magician. And back to the sacred timeline, right? But the main baseline, the sacred timeline is also prominently used to refer to a singular timeline. The main baseline, also known as Earth 616, which is the starting point for all timelines. So Earth 616 brings us into 616 or 666. These are interchangeable, but more or less these reference the beast. Aleister Crowley is called the beast. You can find the word the beast 666 over 8 times on his wiki page. But the beast also refers to revelation. And so I started to think, and I really started to trip out, man. I started to trip because I really thought I was tweaking. At first, it was James Earl Jones. First, it was James Earl Jones, and then it was Dick Cheney. But then a lot of stuff started happening with like Beat King, Fat Man Scoop, Rich Homie Quan. You know, I was like, damn, they was not playing with this Jason season, right? July, August, September, October, November. Got to keep your head on the swivel, right? But the thing that was crazy about this season was that they was bringing people out of retirement. Now, I know I could be tripping, and I'm leaning on the fact that maybe I'm just tripping, but I also feel like it's a lot of people that are just tripping. Dick Cheney put out a letter talking about how, I'll show you this damn letter, which is just crazy to me. It's like the pot calling the kettle black or something. Like, I couldn't believe it on multiple levels. On multiple levels. Like, how is bro still alive with a fake heart? That's one level. Now, Dick Cheney, and this is for the people that say the vice president don't have no power. One's in the chat if you hear people say the vice president don't have power. I'm just showing you the hypocrisy. Yeah, and that Papa Legba shit, that, I mean, That Papa Legba shit is crazy because a lot of women be married to Papa Legba on a spiritual level. And that's cool. But I want you to tell people that you I want you to be walking around here telling people that you married to a spirit. If you keep saying it long enough, if you keep telling enough people, you bound to hear yourself. But if you keep it to yourself, see, a lot of women are married to these male spirits, but they never say shit about it. But I want you to stand on that shit to just hear yourself, right? Hear yourself say that, and then understand, like, damn, that's how many ways can you be opened up to spirits? I don't know, music, entertainment, your own life, your own depression, your own sadness. Open your ass up. And people will look at you like, man, you is a very innocent, good girl. And you know you don't even really be giving it up like that. But they always said that vice presidents don't have power. And I just was like, hell no, hell fucking no. Because when George Bush was the president, the nigga who was running the show was Dick Cheney. The whole Iraq war, Halliburton, all of that was Dick Cheney. And George Bush was the fall guy. So why are we now in this context looking at Biden and Harris and say, damn, over these past 3 years, this shit been crazy. My business been like, it's a lot of shit that's been crazy just all the way around. I don't even need to get into it. We can all, hopefully we all got eyes to see that this shit has been going crazy, but we can't hold Kamala Harris because she the vice president and vice presidents really don't do nothing. That is cap. That's big cap. And I'm just calling it like it is. I don't care about none of this shit. It's just funny to me when people say that and they must never even bear witness to what Dick Cheney was running this whole country for 8 years, stole the election and everything. You know, Al Gore was supposed to be president. All they did was give him the internet. But anyways, how is Dick Cheney alive? How is he calling Donald Trump a threat to our republic when this man brought the whole country into a war and they never found weapons of mass destruction? Like they said Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Go into Iraq, overthrow the whole country, kill Saddam Hussein, and all of it to not find nothing. Colin Powell's reputation was ruined after this, and Dick Cheney talking about a threat to our republic. Y'all went to Iraq for war contracts and a cash grab, and to get the natural resources and things of that nature. So, you know, this to me was like a real level of projection. But then I'm just like, is bro still alive? That's the part that I couldn't really wrap my head around at all. And then I found this page, this Wikipedia page that said that there is like things that happen online that that just say people died or whatever. Like you could just look online and they'd be like such and such had died and they really didn't die type shit. So all of this is just like really getting my mind spinning, rotating. They saying Dick Cheney ain't dead. They saying James Earl Jones ain't dead, or James Earl Jones is dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, damn. This is like, I feel like I'm going crazy, but it's other people that's going crazy, so I don't feel so bad about it that I'm going crazy too. I feel like we collectively going crazy together. And so all of this just pushing me into like, I don't really even care. I'm just like going through the motions. And then I start something said, the numbers. And then something said Beyonce. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I look at the numbers. James Earl Jones died at 93, and James Earl Jones died at 93, and Frankie Beverly died at the age of 77. So I was like, And I started to think, like, is this related to anything? And then I thought, James Earl Jones, he was in Lion King. Beyonce was in Lion King. She was Nala. And then Frankie Beverly and Maze, they've been out the game for years. But Beyonce put out a song, a cover of Before I Let Go. Now, Before I Let Go was performed by Frankie Beverly and Maze, right? And she just did the song over. And I thought that was weird, right? I was like, why is she doing this song over? Right? Like, I just thought it was weird. But then, Beyonce is a motherfucker, and we'll get into that. So, first off, looking at Donald Trump, Drake, these are two individuals that practice ceremonial magic. Ceremonial magic, it helps you manipulate a large group of people. And the people that you don't manipulate, they more or less hate you because at a subconscious level, they feel the magic that you're doing and they don't like you for it. Maybe they're jealous. Maybe they don't understand the rules and parameters of magic. But people hate Trump. Is that a fair statement? Was in the chat. People hate Trump. They always have hated Trump ever since The Apprentice. Before I Let You Go, Frankie Beverly and Maze. Beyonce did it over for no reason, trying to tap into the energy. Because when you talk about Frankie Beverly and you talk about Maze, you're talking about God level geniusness. If you ain't from Houston, Texas, or ain't familiar with the culture, Frankie Beverly is a god. The media told you to hate Trump, but think about a person that the media wants you to hate. Think about how powerful the media is, right? In reality, when you practice ceremonial magic, you have a cloak, you have a form of protection. When you don't practice ceremonial magic, you are subject to the laws of reality. What are the laws of reality? Anything can happen at any time. So the difference between an animal and a human is intelligence. An animal is so much stronger, so much faster, so much powerful than one human. However, a human can create fire, can create traps, can create boundaries, can create gates, can create fences to keep animals at bay, can create weapons to keep animals at bay, can go to different locations, migrate. Animals are secondary to humans. Humans and spirits operate on that same modality. There are the animalistic, demonic spirits that work in the, let's just say, for lack of better words, media. Very, very powerful. So powerful, we can go on and on and on. We could go for years talking about the people that the media have suppressed and killed and took out and canceled. Listen, one's in the chat if where the fuck is R. Kelly is a reality. Like, where the fuck is R. Kelly? Think about a millennial saying, when it's 2024, niggas is not going to give a fuck about R. Kelly at all. Wouldn't that be a fucking astounding statement? If you had a time traveler come to you in 1998 and say, yeah, this nigga right here, he going to get canceled. Like, niggas will not fuck with this nigga at all. You would be like, bro, that's not real. That cannot be real. Because R. Kelly is a bad motherfucker, man. I'm telling you, like, this nigga cold. Listen, people don't give a fuck about R. Kelly because the media hate R. Kelly. So once again, when we say the media hate Trump, like, you got to really start to think about how you going to be successful and move through life, because a lot of people going to hate you in this motherfucker. You got to be stronger than the hate. How do you become stronger than the hate? By spiritual protection. More or less spiritual intelligence. And you got to think about a person who is just a man in New York City. That's just a real estate investor in New York City. Donald Trump is not the first real estate investor in New York City. He's not the first person to put his name on a hotel. Yet and still, his name is Trump. If you don't understand or overstand that last name as being more of a spiritual connotation, then you're missing the point. What is a Trump? A trump is a playing card which is elevated above its usual rank in trick-taking games. Typically, an entire suit is nominated as a trump suit. These cards then outrank all cards of playing non-trump suits. At this level of the game, at the highest level of the game, the name is probably the most important aspect of how you present yourself. Donald Trump is more of a signifier than it is as a name. He's letting motherfuckers know that I outrank you at a spiritual level. And the powers that were don't really like that. And I'm not bigging up Donald Trump. All I'm saying is success and timelines is very important to you. Like, you, I'm not saying you could be Donald Trump. I'm not saying that. But the ways for which this world works is like showing you how it works. It's a movie that's called Back to the Future. That movie is about jumping timelines. It's not something that I'm like, it's not so far-fetched. Like, in that movie, there's a character called Biff Tannen. Biff Tannen ended up owning a hotel, owning a casino, because he went to the future and knew different shit. He went to pass and got a gambling book and brought that gambling book into the future and figured out how to win at a whole bunch of games and made so much money doing this, so forth and so on. Why is Donald Trump owning casinos in in Atlantic City? Why is Donald Trump's uncle intimately studying Nikola Tesla's technology? And Tesla dealt a lot with time travel, things of that nature. Why, when we Google Biff Tannen, you see pictures of him and Donald Trump? a movie about time traveling. Because all these people are fucking crazy. All these people just smoke drugs and tweak out. Everything is just fucking made up. We live in a normal reality, and all you have to do is fill out an application and get a job. That's all you have to fucking do. This timeline jumping shit, you know, it's just some mystical mumbo jumbo. But every day you turn on the news, these motherfuckers is talking about Donald Trump, and y'all niggas don't even figure that out to be weird. You don't even understand. You ain't never seen a nigga go from a reality TV show to becoming a real president for 4 years that people was like, you know what? I kind of like this nigga. And then be like, man, his policies. And then you listen to this nigga talk and you like, oh, hell no. One's in the chat. You listening to this nigga talk like, bro, this nigga can't be serious. You can see it with your own eyes. You can hear it with your own ears. One's in the chat. If you probably smarter than Donald Trump in real life, you feel like if y'all had an aptitude test, you would probably score higher than this nigga. Like you can handle more responsibility than him. Like you just, like this nigga is not smart. And you know smart people. You've been to college before. You met a nerd before. You met powerful niggas at the fucking Starbucks. Them fucking Russian Armenian niggas that be, you know what I'm saying, meeting they chicks at the fucking Starbucks. More impressive than Donald Trump. You see it. But yet and still, this nigga got signs all over the fucking country talking about Trump. And then we trying to figure out, well, what is, if you don't figure out what is actually happening, like what is actually happening, what is really happening, you're going to be on the outside looking in. These people do not mind. Listen, I'm telling you the truth. They do not mind putting on a black robe, getting a magic wand, and open up portals and walking to and fro portals, going in the past, changing shit, shifting shit, going in the future, changing shit, shifting shit. But it is an actual finite point that they get to, that they then have to like bear witness to the facts coming to surface. So even though all of this shit is happening right in front of your face, you wouldn't understand the spiritual behind the scenes aspects. Cause I know this shit happened for real. Like I know this shit happened for real. I went to a goddamn bookstore. And this nigga was being so rude to me. He was being so rude to me. And I'm like, he literally kicking me out the store. And so I go to buy a book before he closed the store. He stopped everything and start talking to me about Drake. It's like his spirit stopped everything. Like it was weird because he wanted me to get out the store, but then he commenced to talk to me for 20 minutes about Drake. I said this story before in this channel, but it's appropriate. He told me Drake was in this bookstore and he had about 6 bags full of occult material, all about Crowley, OT, all the stuff about ritual, all the stuff about magic. He bought all of the books. And to double down on the reality of what he was telling me, like Drake is a psychic, is what he basically was telling me. And he was like, he was thinking about whiskey or something. He was like, you got any books on whiskey? And the bookstore owner was like, no, I don't really think I got none. And Drake looked up to the right. He was like, this book right here. And then Drake grabbed the book, opened the book, and he was like, and then closed it. The book was like expensive. Drake bought it. But the bookstore owner said when he opened up the book opened right up to the name of the whiskey that Drake owned. And I like all of those little details. I was like, what the? He couldn't have been lying because I didn't even know Drake owned a whiskey brand. Like, why is this old man so tapped into Drake that he know that Drake owned a whiskey brand, right? Like, there's no way that this old white man know that Drake owned a whiskey brand if Drake wasn't there and that story happened exactly like the old white man told. This shit is called Virginia Black. And so Drake was looking for a book on tobacco, but he found the book on tobacco and whiskey in reference to Virginia, right? What whiskey does Drake own? Virginia Black Decadent American Whiskey. I never even heard Drake talk about this or nothing. But that little detail was just to show like this shit. No, this nigga Drake was really at this fucking store. No, this nigga Drake really got the occult books out this motherfucker. No, this nigga Drake be really studying and doing ceremonial magic. Fuck, it's a game. This nigga name is Aubrey Drake for real. This nigga is a hoity-toity Jewish nigga. That's the hottest R&B hip hop artist in the country, and we trying to figure out why. I heard that last Drake CD for all the dogs. It was straight up AI. Like none of the bars made sense. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was just saying words. Like this nigga just retorts to like saying words that rhyme together. Like motherfuckers be like, oh, this nigga Drake the coldest, he the GOAT. And you trying to figure out why is this nigga this cold? Well, from what I'm hearing from a reliable, credible source, this nigga Drake is a psychic. This nigga Drake is into the occult. He into the shit that we into as far as spiritual community type shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about being successful, it's not about working the hardest. It's about understanding how to open portals and walk into different timelines. Once again, do people hate Drake? If people don't hate Drake, then call it what you call it. But at the end of the day, the whole Kendrick Lamar versus Drake, you've seen a whole bunch of people speak about how they hated Drake. So once we get into certain realities, such as the Bohemian Grove was created in 1872, where men worshipped an owl statue. Well, that's weird. Why the hell did Drake use an owl? What's the purpose of the owl? This nigga's record company is called October's Very Own. That ain't an owl. That's a day of the month. Maybe he was born in October, but where's the owl come from? And then it's cool. I'm cool with anybody using symbology and stuff like that. But when that shit start going crazy, that shit work. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do any type of symbology you want, and it may or may not work. But if you utilize some owl shit and you become Drake, you become OVO, the label of Party Next Door and all of that shit, you working with some form of power. So once again, maybe it was a method of fuck around and find out, just trying the owl. But that owl and OVO, it seemed very deliberate. So once again, when people get into this shit, they don't realize that they're opening up a portal and it's motherfucking Aleister Crowley. Which Aleister Crowley, he come in, basically, for lack of better words, the only way I can explain it is that he come in representing Satan, the opposite of God. And the only thing that these people got is music, frequencies, tones, and rituals. The frequency and tones will take the most moralistic people, Black people, and turn them into the most immoralistic people. Because you don't have girls twerking without Glorilla and Sexy Red. They not gonna twerk to John Coltrane and Alice Coltrane. They only gonna twerk to a certain vibration and a certain frequency. And Drake is not above working with Sexy Red, working with artists like Lotto. Drake not working with Rhapsody. So he's with the shits. He don't got a choice. As smart as he may be at a spiritual level, he's not letting y'all know, hey man, y'all need to get into ceremonial magic and ritual. But at the same time, he's utilizing it, opening up this portal, and he's getting these certain frequencies and tones to put people under certain forms of hypnosis. And he's giving the energy to Lotto. He's giving the energy to Sexy Red. He's giving it to all of these artists. It's called a Drake stimulus. A lot of artists that's on right now is because Drake was their guest feature. So what are they getting? They're getting a piece of the industry. They're getting a piece of the collective. What is this? This is like when people care about your music. If you're an artist, you got to understand that that's one of the most spiritual things in the whole entire world. Because the best artists are never heard. People don't care about how good the music is. One's in the chat, if it's people that you listen to that are amazing artists, but nobody ever heard of them. Nobody don't know none of these particular artists that you just love so much, and you let other people hear it and they kind of tune out. They can't vibrate to it. And then they'll just turn around like, have you heard the new Playboy Cardi? You like, dog, what the fuck? Like, that new Playboy Cardi is crazy. And then you hear it, you like, bro, this nigga's not even saying words. Right? He's not even saying words. He the hottest in the game right now? Playboy Cardi? This is what we doing? So this is the demonic realm opening up. So back to Aleister Crowley, Drake, and Beyonce. You got to understand that this is factional. Like, it's the OTO, and then there's the Thelema, right? But then within the Thelema and the OTO, it branches off into Freemasonry, branches off into politics, government. So all of the Congress and nigga, I dare any of them to tell me that I'm a liar. Because the thing about this shit is that nobody ever going to call you a liar. They going to just try to ignore it and avoid it. If you're a high-level politician, if you're a high-level artist, if you're a high-level actor, if you're a high-level anything, you didn't get there from just being talented. Because this world is filled with billions of people. This work, in order to be high level at anything you do, you have to be a ceremonial magician and learn how to hypnotize people through your art, through your speaking, through your orator. So let's just look at it like this. If I'm a senator and I get on the stage and I'm like, yeah, man, I hope y'all vote for me. I got this shit going on, you know, and then motherfuckers would be like, bro, we're not voting for your ass. But if you go over there with that energy, right, let's look at goddamn Barack Obama. Barack Obama was a senator for 2 years. But the way that nigga was talking to niggas, he was moving and exciting the base. This nigga got black people into politics. This nigga was a magician. Barack Obama is a magician. And what is the first level of magic? The name. This nigga's name was Barack Obama when we had just came out the fucking Iraq war. Osama bin Laden not too long ago bombed the fucking Twin Towers is the narrative. This nigga's name was Obama. Obama, Osama, Barack, like that is a fucking Iraqi name. That's a Muslim name. that name alone said niggas was like, man, who the fuck is Barack Obama? And then you heard him speak, you like, damn, I'm moved by that. His ability to connect to the masses is a result of ceremonial magic. If you don't understand that, then you're never going to understand shit about magic. It's for a purpose. It's because it works. Beyonce, come the fuck on. Like just singing. Like we all know a Beyonce song and we can all bear witness. You'll be like, man, Kelly can kind of sing a little better though. Like it's videos online, and I dare you to look at them where they like actually break down the voices. They will have Kelly versus Beyonce singing the same exact song. And if your ears say that Beyonce sing better than Kelly, then just fuck it. Like forget everything. Like it don't even matter. Because if it's a fire, I'm gonna say it's a fire, and you're gonna be like, it's raining. And me and you can never be in the same place together because you a hazard to my motherfucking health. But Beyonce is way more impactful, way more powerful than Kelly Rowland. Not because of talent, not because of business, because of ceremonial magic. So Drake, Beyonce, they're on the same assignment. However, motherfuckers don't be knowing for real. Motherfuckers be like, all right, help me and just help me. You know what I'm saying? And then when you help yourself, people don't like that shit. So before all of this shit popped off, Drake out of nowhere put out a CD called Honestly Nevermind. Mind you, at or around the same time as Beyonce put out Renaissance. If you listen to both albums simultaneously, what you will hear is a part 1 and a part 2. To the seamless transitions, to the house music, to the arrangements, they're basically the same album. Did y'all peep that when they came out? The reason why is because Drake was helping Beyonce work on Renaissance. But you got to understand, when they was putting out Renaissance, they was doing the magic. Listen, Renaissance Volume 1 is so magical that there's no videos to it. Now, I need y'all to think about this. This is the biggest artist in the world without a video, right? Going on a world tour, no video, basically no promo. They knew that the music was so spelly, so witch, that's the word I just made up. So witchcraft encoded that they didn't even have to do nothing but put it out. Honestly, Nevermind, same thing. No videos to it. Just pure hypnosis, baby. Like pure hypnosis. And not even America. We talking about this type of music. It'll take over the whole planet. This is dance music. This is house music. So what this did was put more or less like a blanket. If you ever watched Agatha all along, this shit with Vision, WandaVision, where they put like a barrier over. The music can do that, right? And so the music is very strong. So even deeper, Beyonce went on tour. Her tour, one of the biggest tours of the year, right? She didn't start in America. She started in England and Sweden. And see, the thing about the lower level ritualistic magic is that like it's very animalistic. It's very much of like, we going to do the blood sacrifices. We don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like where another person be like, man, I ain't about to like, take nobody's life or no shit like that. I'm gonna just do my magic, whatever. No, at the level that these people work at, they okay with taking you out the game. Right? So May 23rd, Tina Turner transitions. She transitions in Switzerland, right? In Europe, while Beyonce was in Europe on tour. Right? A tour with no video, no promotion, just vibes. Niggas sold out a tour, went crazy on a tour off of pure vibes. And you got to actually start to think like, man, how? How is she able to do that and pull that off? I'm going to tell you how. Because high level magic, high level sorcery, high level ceremonial magic in reference to ways every concert was a ritual. Now I tried to Google 83 and Crowley, and what came up was this song by Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne is. I'm checking everybody. I'm checking to see if they still alive now, because you're not gonna catch me slipping no more with this weird ass timeline shit. I'm trying to see who all alive. Right, Ozzy Osbourne still alive. He's still, but he had a song called Mr. Crowley. Right, but that was the age that Tina Turner transitioned at 83. Mr. Crowley, went on in your head? Mr. Crowley, did you talk to the dead? Your lifestyle to me seems so tragic. With the thrill of it all, you fooled all of the people with magic. Yet, yeah, you waited on Satan's call. So, like, in reference to the channel, when I say that Crowley represents Satan at a spiritual level, I didn't know that in the lyrics to this song, that's what Ozzy Osbourne was saying. But once again, I'm following the dots and I'm connecting the dots. When you are in the spiritual community and you don't understand Satan and you don't understand dark energy, when you don't understand dark energy, when you don't understand Satan, that's what you open yourself up to. Because it's called, I think it's called, the Bardo. The Bardo is a Tibetan Buddhist concept that refers to the transitional state between death and rebirth, or the gap between any two states. The word Bardo translates to gap, interval, intermediate state, transitional process, or in between. So when you do rituals, the first level is the Bardo. The first level is what we call Satan or demonic entities that have not progressed beyond being fascinated with the material world, right? So it's this layer or this buffer that people don't really know about. So what tends to happen with spiritual stuff is that you get into it, you think it's all good, you listen to somebody, you invest, you grow, you do whatever, and it never turns out the way you think it's going to turn out. Because the person that reeled you in is like a pyramid scheme. It's like a pyramid scheme, right? A lot of what be on top of people's heads is demonic entities that are stuck in the Bardo. They just don't know what they don't know. So a lot of entities, the entities that y'all know, right? The entities that's written down on paper that people say, oh, I'm a follower of this, I'm a worshiper of that. 10 times out of 10, those entities exist in the Bardo. They exist in the gap. And because we don't have a better word for it, the best way that humans have classified these entities over time as satanic and demonic, meaning that there is a further level that you can go to. There is a deeper level that you can go to that's beyond any entity. Once you get beyond this level, you get into yourself, which is ironic as fuck. Ironic as hell that you will worship an entity that don't. It's like when people enter into the spiritual community, classify themselves as spiritual, they're working with a demonic entity. That demonic entity would be what we would consider somebody to be autistic. And that's like your leader, not in a derogatory way. It's just like on the lowest end of the spectrum, but you're looking at this person to be your guide or your leader or your husband or your God. And this person can't even tie his motherfucking shoes for real. Can't do shit for you. So what does this do? It sours you to the concept of spirituality altogether. And you just end up getting a fucking 9-to-5 job and going back to work or some shit. Cause at least, you getting a paycheck, you know what I'm saying? And fuck this spiritual shit. Because I'm telling you, most of the spirits that you're going to deal with they're existing within the boundary. Brings us back to the initiation of Beyonce and Jay-Z. Right? Once again, you can't just go to Cuba when you feel like going to Cuba, first of all. Right? When you go to Cuba at certain levels, that means you're going there for ritual. You're going there for initiation. And the thing about all of this Santeria, the thing about, in particular levels of voodoo, is all just going to open you up to lesser deities, lesser energies that can barely help. They can't even help themselves. Because think about a spirit that can travel all through the universe telling you that your mama ain't shit. They don't read, if you really think about it. They don't telling you, you know what I'm saying? You should go crash out. Why should a spirit even care about you? Think about why a spirit would even why does Papa Legba give a fuck about you? Why does Baron Samdi give a shit about you? Why? Listen, I know what it's like to want to meditate, but want to fucking masturbate before you meditate so you can have a clear mind. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to not be able to meditate because you want to do something sexual, and that is the block. So therefore, yeah, you have to see the barrier in the astral world and go beyond it. They showed it to you in the Truman Show. You got to see that the astral world is an illusion. Movies are displays of the astral world. When a person writes a screenplay, he's not looking at the world around him to develop that screenplay. He's looking at the world within him to develop that screenplay. One's in the chat if that makes sense. So when you see movies like The Truman Show, it could be talking about, the world, but more or less it's telling you about the astral. The end of The Truman Show, he like you being gassed by the astral world, like you being so gassed by it. You believe in your astral world. A lot of women, man, you find a woman, she be like, man, I like before she get a man, you call that girl 3 o'clock, what's she doing? She sleep. Gassed. Goddamn astral world got her gassed. What the fuck you doing sleeping at 2 o'clock for? Oh, I'm just so tired. Gassed. What you doing when you sleep? How you get to sleep? Oh, I can't really sleep without the vibrator real quick. Bzzz. Get that good nut. Go to sleep. Gassed. See, the shorty not going to tell you that because she got on her lip gloss at the date and she hoping that you pay for the whole thing. So she not going to tell you, yeah, anytime I could go to sleep. Just give me a nice little dildo, little vibrator, little orgasm. Gassed. Go to sleep. You ever went to sleep with the vibrator still on? Tweaking. Talking about, these niggas can't really fuck me right. That's why all I need is my rose toy. So, anyways, Beyonce and Jay-Z in Cuba, and mind you, before this, Jay-Z don't got the locks at all. Beyonce talking about all the ladies that's independent. She wasn't Oshun. She was not fucking Oshun. She was not on no Black is King, nothing. Listen to old Beyonce music. You're gonna hear some of the most basest shit you ever heard in your motherfucking life. I'm talking lack of fucking content. You know what I'm saying? Like her shit, like I would always listen to a Beyonce album, like, bro, if she would just kick into neo soul and just fucking have live instrumentation, jazz, R&B ballads, man, this shit will go. But Beyonce, she just kept it bass for some reason. In the new music, like the Renaissance 1, Renaissance 2, she got into a weird bag. I'm not even gonna lie. That country shit, I can't get into the Renaissance Volume 2. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but I feel like she need to just, like Beyonce and Robert Glasper, something crazy. I'm telling you, the world would shift, right? If she just said, all right, I'm gonna go to LA and find the best musicians I can find. All right, let me get Robert Glasper, let me get Amon Omari. We just about to just go to fucking Aruba for a month and just cook, right? The world would shift. Because Beyonce is the person that people are going to listen to, but Beyonce haven't ushered in the frequencies, right? Beyonce trying to get in the CMAs and shit like that, man. Let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? That fucking country western shit, that shit demonic as hell. That shit what got Ray Charles taken out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot, as a Black person, I know they be trying to make you think like we invented country, and we did. We did invent country. We invented all of this shit, but that shit's still low vibrational as hell. You gonna get, listen, enough country music, you gonna start feel that demon, like get irritated and agitated, like it's got a spirit attached to it. So don't just mindlessly, passively listen to some goddamn Beyonce country music. That's about the work. She covered Jolene by Dolly Parton. How the hell Dolly Parton sound better than you? How the fuck, bro? And nobody said shit. Y'all just was like, yeah. She covered Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton put out one of the best songs the world have ever heard with Jolie. Like Dolly Parton, that song is perfect. You do not like that white girl. She put her titties in that song, man. Like, god damn, it's just a beautiful song. Just silent, that song come on. And it just so fucked up. Like, I know a lot of people ain't even hip to Dolly Parton's version because of Beyonce, what she did with Frankie Beverly. But at the same time, delete that shit out your files and just replace it with Dolly Parton's version. Because Dolly Parton's version is just amazing. And I know what she was thinking. She was going to sit on top of that energy. But see, I had already been listening to Jolene way before that song even came out. So I already housed that energy like, oh yeah, no, this is a classic. This is like, that shit just came up on my shuffle one day. I said, oh, this shit moved me. I'm like, damn, this bitch Jolene about to fuck all these niggas. You know what I'm saying? She about to get all of the husbands. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit had you feel like, damn, Jolene is a bad bitch. Beyonce's song, she tried to put it like Jolene. She was about to, you know what I'm saying? She was about to beat up Jolene or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't about to do shit to Jolene, Beyonce. Jolene is a fucking goddess. Like, what the fuck, Jolene? Like, listen to Beyonce's version. She edit the lyrics, edit the meaning, give it a little different slant. Like, that shit is garbage. All of this to say, Beyonce don't give a fuck about harvesting some energy. She will hop on a song in a minute and harvest that shit. Right? Because Beyonce is a lion. Beyonce already let you know, I'm a Leo. I study sidereal astrology. I'm off that Virgo shit. The sun's still in Leo in the in the trenches of September. It bitch still in Leo. Right? And going to be in Virgo longer. But even more so, it brings us back into James Earl Jones. Right? James Earl Jones was the voice of Mufasa in Lion King 1 and the remake. Right? September 9th, 2024, he transitioned. So they say. But the interesting thing, though, to me, is that James Earl Jones dies at what age? What age was he? He was 93. Now, it's two things. The Mandela effect and the voice of Mufasa, and also being King Jaffe Joe and coming to America. And there's also Zamunda and what's the other shit? What's the shit in Black Panther? The shit that's not real, but they act like it's real. Wakanda, Zamunda and Wakanda. Now, this is crazy, right? Africa got a lot of countries. Let's see how I want to be accurate. How many countries in Africa? 54 countries in Africa. Why did Marvel say, let's just make up a country that's not even there? Let's call it Wakanda. And then coming to America, could have chose any country, said, let's make up one, call it Zamunda. Now, Wakanda and Zamunda are what they try to allude to when they're explaining the Boule. But the Boule at one level is a group of college Black people, but at a deeper level is a group of melanated ceremonial magicians that operate through into the Roman Catholic Church. Everything that we know is coming from the Vatican. The reason that I say that is because a church institution is going to last longer than a person. And for so long, so many people, ancestors have came and gone, and the only thing that remains true is the Vatican. Until the Vatican gets destroyed, that is the religious and cultural center of the planet. So in this country, in every country, there is a secret society or group of occult ceremonial magicians that operate under one rule. We have to get people to buy into certain shit through ceremonial magic. What is ceremonial magic? A movie. Movies such as The Lion King, movies such as goddamn They Live, just trying to think of like big Toy Story, movies that everybody have seen. Inside Out 1, Inside Out 2, all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, All of these are big, big rituals. They're not movies in a sense where they're trying to entertain you. They're trying to have some level of possession of your mind and open you up to some form of demonic possession. Beyonce's concert, she's not doing a concert for money. Why would she need to do a concert for money? She already got money. She's doing a concert because she's doing rituals. And you don't know what it's like to have millions of people do whatever the fuck you want them to do. That shit gotta feel exhilarating at a certain level, especially if you ain't got $20 in your bank account and you just say, all right, tomorrow I want 100,000 people to buy my motherfucking shoes. All right, Adidas, put out my shoe. Right? And 100,000 people go on fucking Adidas and buy Ivy Park shit. Well, they used to anyways. That is powerful. In this world where it's 1,000 Carrie Hilsons, 1,000 Carrie Hilsons, and only one Beyonce, you would have to know how to fight, how to win, how to beat a motherfucker's ass on a spiritual level. And once again, you got to be able to read these codes because Beyonce, she's trying to sell goddamn shampoo. So in reference to her wanting to sell shampoo, James Earl Jones, you got to go. And Frankie Beverly, you got to go. And even if you went before, you got to go again because it's all for the ritual, right? The reason that we know and the reason that we talk about it is because of a ritual. It's because of it's some form of magic. In the age, like, people going to do the math. This day to that day will get us to 93. Okay, on this day, we're going to bring this person out because it lines up with the math. So once again, I could be like, Aleister Crowley, he ain't channel me, this, that, and the third. And then I just did a real quick reference to the number 93. And this is what I came up with. As it is written in the book of the law of Thelema, it is stated as, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. This is what I'm saying. If you want to get a magic wand, inscribe it with runes, put crystals on it, and do rituals, open up the east, open up the south, open up the west, open up the north, and close that shit back up when you're done, you can do it, right? Or you can take your ass down to the motherfucking gas station and fill out an application talking about, is you hiring third shift? You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. This is why 93 is tied into the book of the law of Thelema. And if you don't know, it was written by Aleister Crowley. It is further said, love is the law, love under will. So once again, if you do not, and once again, if niggas is not going to like this, right? Because nobody can stand on this. If don't nobody love you, you're not doing your magic right. If you're not loving somebody, you're not doing your magic right. Because at the end of it all, the root of it all is that we all want to be loved and love. We want to be loved and loved in equal measure. When you outside of that, you in some form of delusion, crazy, insane asylum reality. You probably got a fucking septum ring. I don't want to fuck with that type of shit. You don't need love. Get the fuck out of my face. I need that shit. I want exploratory love. I want the deepest levels of love that law allow. Fuck out of here. I don't want to fall in love. I want to tap into my masculine energy. That's why I got a bull ring. I feel like a bull. Ugh. Fuck out of my face. The two primary terms in this statement are will and love. Respectively, in the Greek language, they are Thelema and agape, will and love. Using the Greek technique of isophosphy, which applies a numerical value to letters, the letters of birth of these words, when added together, equal 93. Okay, Thelema equals 93, which is will. Agape equals 93, which is love. Will and love. Very simple shit. Ritual, magic, love, and sex. These are very personal things. And once again, the major part of this shit, do what thou wilt, shall be the whole of the law. So this gets confusing, right? I can do whatever I want to do, but it's still a law that you got to follow. Under the law, you can do whatever you want to do. So why is having timeline conscious so important? Because in this timeline, I didn't hurt anybody, right? If say for instance, I do whatever I want to do in this in a timeline where it incurs like infringement on somebody's will. But if you can enter into a timeline where none of that has happened, then that is true too. And it's so true. But if you don't actually understand the levels of magic and spiritualism, where spirit is like magic, where it can create any reality, and you can be in that reality, be in that world, and you just be in a different galaxy, a different dimension, where nothing is the same, everything is different. You have to create that for yourself, though. Through, and all of this is talking about ritual. All of this is talking about magic. When we reference Aleister Crowley in his wiki, the first words is English occultist and ceremonial magician. That's the get down. So 93 as a salutation. James Earl Jones died at 93. He didn't die at 92, 94, 95, 96. Because if that was the case, we couldn't have had this conversation in reference to him, Frankie Beverly, and Beyonce, sacred hair wash, right? Because listen, Beyonce got to sell goddamn shampoo. So grandpa's got to go. You feel me? Grandpa's and grandma's got to go. When she wanted to go on the Renaissance tour, Tina Turner had to go. When she wanted to sell this goddamn new hair wash and conditioner, 93 is a salutation. It is common for Thelemites to greet each other with 93 in person, as well as in the opening and closing of a written correspondence. This custom derives from Aleister Crowley's guideline that Thelemites should greet each other with the law. Since saying the entire law can be cumbersome, using 93 has become a shorthand. But hold on. And Spirit said, hold on, you can hit them with another haymaker, because they think you on bullshit when it comes to this channel to Aleister Crowley. Who wore the shirt that said, do what thou wilt? One's in the chat if you know. No, we're not talking about politics. We talking about everything. We talking about ceremonial magic. It's all a coincidence. Beyonce don't have no connection to Aleister Crowley. She would never know nothing about Aleister Crowley, but her husband, the only nigga that I've known to wear a shirt that said, do what thou wilt. So you trying to tell me that Jay-Z wearing this shirt that the Thelemites wear, which is their greeting, right? This is how Thelemites greet each other. So when you wear that shirt, that's not saying like, it's not a cool saying. That's saying I'm a part of a secret society. And we're talking about Jay-Z, okay? This nigga works for the NFL. He works for Rock Nation. Okay. You can watch Oskino Vasquez on Vlad TV. Got like 18-part basically in every one of the videos. Oskino is saying, man, because Oskino was part of state property. State property was signed to Rockefeller. And Oskino just saying, man, the nigga Jay-Z just moved weird. The nigga just not a normal human. Like, he goes into a story where the artist PD Crack was basically saying, like, can I get a car? And Jay-Z is like, no. Right? Just a little beater, a little squatter, a little car, you know what I'm saying? Nigga couldn't even give him a car. And then another story, Beanie Siegel could have got out of jail if Jay-Z was just like, he could come stay with me or some shit like that. Jay-Z was like, no, I ain't going to vouch for you. So Beanie had to sit in jail for another 2 years, and all he needed was a Jay-Z cosign, and Jay-Z would never do it. Once again, then he said, you know, they signed all of these Philadelphia artists thinking that it was family, but at the end of the day, it was just a big tax write-off, right? Imagine thinking that a nigga is your man's and he's just using you for an extra couple of dollars that he can save on his taxes, and you none the wiser. And in a normal, average, moralistic, realistic person is not going to understand Jay-Z. Because in reference to ceremonial magic, if the nigga just want to win, he's just going to win. And if you as an obstacle or opposition, he going to get rid of you. Now, back to Aleister Crowley. Jay-Z's wearing this shirt. Do what thou wilt. James Earl Jones, he dies at 93. But we can also connect James Earl Jones to Beyonce because of the damn movie Lion King. And then on top of that, Beyonce put out a CD called Black is King. So do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law is the greeting. And this greeting is 93. And mind you, we haven't heard nothing from Beyonce since the Renaissance tour. Nothing. Not a video, not nothing. But when James Earl Jones died, and when Frankie Beverly died, she like, hey, can y'all buy this goddamn hair wash? Like randomly though, like it's just coincidence. She just trying to just randomly say, I'm gonna just wash my hair on live. Stunting on hoes though. Like that shit, her hair, beautiful. Yeah, I tie it up in knots. And I rinse, I wash and rinse and condition each and individual strand. Like, I'm gonna sit under this dryer now. You probably can't afford a dryer, but I can. So I'm gonna just sit up under here and get my nails done or some shit. All right, go back to being broke. I'll see y'all later. But while you here, if you got any, I know it's a recession. I know you probably trying to figure out how you're gonna pay your rent. But if you can spare 50, can you buy this shampoo and conditioner, please? Oh, y'all don't want to buy it? Hey, take James Earl Jones and Frankie Beverly off the board. See what that do. Before I Let Go is a song performed by American R&B band Maze, written and produced by lead singer Frankie Beverly. Beyonce covered this song for her 2019 film Homecoming, and it's the focus of the 2021 episode. Still proud. I don't know what she talking about on that. But anyways, Beyonce covered this song, right? Live in New Orleans, right? Man, oh man. Frankie Beverly, he dies at the age of 77. Now, once again, these numbers, it's always the numbers. It's always Beyonce covered it. Then it's the numbers. And then what do these numbers connect to? I don't know. Why did Aleister Crowley write Book 77? The Book of the Goat, The Rights of Man. This is just a single page declaration. And when you put your goddamn ceremonial magic game down so flat, it's hard for a nigga to, it's hard for these artists to go out and beyond it. I'm sure niggas don't want to see Aleister Crowley at the head of their astro reality. Aleister Crowley is like that white man in the Truman Show, running the whole shit. You thinking you living a normal life. You think you making progress. You just doing what Satan wants you to do. Like, you just doing whatever this nigga, like, you not in control at all. See, what I'm trying to elucidate and explain to y'all is that there is a level beyond even an amazing dream from Papa Legba. It's a level beyond your grandma visiting you, giving you a hug. It's a level beyond that, right? And you have to get it, because if you watch any scary movie, how do they try to get niggas at the end? They be trying to imitate the son that died. Hey, mommy. And you be like, and the bitch had to fight. She's like, you're not my son. You're not my son. You gotta act like that's real. You gotta see that this is a fucking demonic entity utilizing something that you love against you. So these people want to be famous so bad. These people want to be successful so bad. And I'm telling you, these demonic entities, like, sure, I'll help you. You want a number one song? That nigga Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap thought, man, I made it. This nigga was back to selling dope in 6 months. You ain't never made it. You ain't never made it. You can't never make it working for the goddamn devil. You can't never make it. Right? And they will have you on such deep witchcraft because you don't even, like, I say study this shit, man. Study this shit so you can get to a space where you can start to see it. Because if you don't study it, you'll never see it. And you will just be like, it's so many people that feel like they just have to be a part. They just have to feel, they just have to vibrate at a certain frequency. Like, in our community, they'll tell you, man, you don't even act black no more. You start going, like, you would go to the functions, you'd be like, damn, y'all just gonna play the same songs at every black get together? I'm no longer dancing to this shit nor bobbing my head. Until I go to a black function and they playing new bops. It's the same repetitive bops over and over again. And if you say something, they're gonna look at you like you the problem. So what is this? This is Santeria. How do we know it's Santeria? Because Beyonce, 3 days ago, shares another Sacred Sunday video of her wash day routine. How you know the ego is in control? When niggas tell you, gonna try to show you how to wash ass. This is my step-by-step directions on how to wipe your ass. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, they done got my shit all broke down. They're blocking comments and everything.
Like you went off?
It's like so hopefully the CIA will let me get this final point off before they kick me off the internet for good. Now, Beyonce knows Carter is sharing another one of her Sacred Sunday, giving fans a glimpse of her wash day routine with products from her acclaimed Sacred hairline. Right. So she don't do nothing else but just going to show y'all how to wash her hair, which is cool, right? But at the same time, what is the spiritual significance? Well, this spiritual significance, it comes from Christianity, but it also comes from Santeria. And once again, these practices is cool. Like I would never say anything opposing it, because if your soul is telling you to practice Santeria, then follow your soul. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if it opens you up to a deity that's not yourself, be very careful, right? So once again, we're talking about the head, right? And so in Santeria, where does Santeria come from? Is Cuba. Beyonce and Jay-Z, they got opened up in Cuba, so they would know about washing. So during a lavatorio or a washing, the initiate's head is bathed in an armario designed to rid them of any malevolent spirits attached to them. Often their hair would be shaved off. Well, in this case, her hair wasn't shaved off. It was just a symbolic video. Like, understand, her brand is called Sacred. What's the most important thing in spiritual practice? The naming of something, right? And she flipped it like Beyonce, Sacred, right? But at the same time, its meaning is its meaning. And what are you going to be doing? You're going to be washing your head. Even like, washing and drying your hair is a ritual, especially for Black people, because our hair produces natural oils, so we don't even have to wash our hair every day, right? So with all of that being said, think about when, like, you know what I'm saying, if you got a fucking, imagine you having a wig on, right? And you just got that wig on. How long they been having the wigs on for?
Since I was born, I've been sewing at least 20 years.
No, I'm saying, like, how long you keep a wig on though?
Oh.
Like, you don't take it off like a month or two. You know what I'm saying? You just got that wig on. You're not taking it off because you're doing a lot to, you know what I'm saying, to match the edges, right? You're doing that little spray thing, right? So you're going to have it glued down to your scalp, to your forehead and shit. So you're not taking it off. And sometimes you might go from wig to wig, right? And it's some niggas that ain't never washed their hair ever. Like, niggas don't wash their hair for what? Right? And media society just saying you're gonna wash your hair to clean it. But you gotta understand, all of this shit is symbolic. All of this shit is like, and I'm trying to figure out what, like, you know what I'm saying? What was she washing away? Right? Because once again, pay attention. And Spirit just was like, do this video and then let them know. The reason I'm doing this, pay attention for big Beyonce news in the coming weeks. Because if you don't understand this, like I'm just going to like lay how I see, like I just seen shit in this sequential order. Like, okay, this shit is all connected in some weird way. You know, somebody's doing some ceremonial magic. You know, some people is jumping timelines, right? And when I think about my life and think about, you know, any forms and contexts where I've been successful, I've understood it to be jumping timelines, being single and not having no options to jump in the timeline, having 20 options. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like in every timeline, there's a different reality. And when you first jumping into different timelines, you might not know what timeline you jumping into, or you might jump into a crazy timeline. But once again, it's certain fundamental realities in each timeline that you accept. Right. So if you accept that you're never gonna have money, it don't matter what timeline you jump in, you're gonna every timeline you jump in, you're gonna be broke as shit. If you ain't never, you know what I'm saying? If you just imagine yourself to have motion, if you imagine yourself to, you know, jump into that timeline where those things is happening. In certain timelines, I was fat. Now I jump into a timeline where I'm losing weight. And, you know, each timeline I jump into is going to be a different, because everything should be malleable at a certain point if you're trying to improve. But once again, each timeline that you move in based upon the flexibility that's in your mind is certain realities that you just going to accept. Right. So like one of those, you know what I'm saying, when somebody transitions, you kind of cement yourself into that reality. So you can't really be like, oh, I don't think such and such is dead or whatever. You sound crazy, which is kind of the indication that you jump the reality when something don't seem right to you and you bring it to people's attention. They look at you like you weird. You probably jumped the timeline, right? And if you feel like, you know, James Earl Jones been dead, and stuff like that, you know, keep it to yourself because people going to look at you like you crazy. But at the same time, I want you to begin to understand and understand that you probably is in another timeline. What did this timeline look? It's going to look different, right? And it's so many things that people bear witness to. They be like, oh, I can't stand my kids. I need a break. I need some money. I need this. And it's so easy to just go into a timeline where all of these problems is resolved. So how does one do it? Through ceremonial magic. Is it difficult? Not as you think, but it is in reference to input equals output. The more effort you put into creating your wand, um, drawing different sigils on the ground, might buy some chalk, you know what I'm saying, get candles, get one candle, 50 candles, right? You can put a lot of effort into a ritual to open up particular portals. You can listen to music, no music, right? But at the same time, most people gonna hear me think I'm talking booga wooga shit. Oh my God, this nigga is fucking crazy talking about doing his own fucking ritual. And that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But those who have ears, please let them hear. Those who have eyes, please let them see, right? You don't be afraid. Watch any spiritual movie, watch The Craft, right? Watch The fucking Exorcist, watch The Shining, watch Doctor Sleep. All of these particular movies like elucidate the spiritual world and kind of interpret the spiritual world based upon how people have seen it, right? We have lived on this earth for millions, if not billions of years. The reality of a lot of shit is that it will open you up to spiritual shit just enough for you to crash out. And I want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to understand that. So once again, work with your soul more than you work with any other entity or energy. I'm not saying close yourself off to energies, but at the same time, don't get these niggas no credence. Don't get these niggas no big up, because a lot of times these entities be working for Satan, right? Y'all know y'all seen that meme where dudes say I'm spiritual. You be like, well, demons is spiritual too. Okay, all spiritual is not created in the good. And if people can't explain the Bardo period or the Bardo area of the spiritual world, 10 times out of 10, they're under possession of a Bardo entity. Okay. So with all that being said, tap into your soul. Got some discounts coming up this weekend. I'm gonna send out the rest of the books no later than Monday whenever they get here. And thanks for everybody's patience. If you order a Blue Magic book and 90% of them have been sent out, and y'all get them sometimes next week. Thank y'all for all y'all patience. Thank y'all for all y'all support. Join the Discord, join the Substack, and I'm gonna keep my eyes open and ears open for any more downloads. Whenever I get a download, y'all get the download. And about to start studying this full moon, but I'm gonna take a break tomorrow. Get up on that river, get my canoe game up real crazy. I'm about to be a world famous canoeer, y'all. Y'all didn't even know it. About to devote my whole life to canoeing. But get outside, right? Enjoy nature to the best of your ability. With all this being said, man, peace to Ra. Send positive energy, prayers, love, and light to Maurice's family as he's going through, a tough period. But, you know what I'm saying? Send love, light to that brother. And we will get on with the getting ons in the future. And I'll see y'all all on the flip side. Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective.
Woo! You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer.